Always fun, and unique. Welcome back to the studio, my friends. Up on the bench today is a vehicle that I've picked up for my wife. Jem is my wife, for those that don't know. Jem has a truck named Pinky. It is an Axial SCX-10, totally modified, and it's a honcho. But my wife, after all these years, said she'd like to drive something different. And I said, well, no problem. Did you want me to build you something? And she says, no, I found this one on eBay. I really like it. And I said, whoa, no problem. When I looked inside and saw it had a female driver, as well as the great work done on this build. This is from my friend. He actually built my H2 Hummer, the yellow one that I have. And what he does is he repurposes New Bright vehicles, which is a manufacturer of toy grade vehicles. And he got this Jeep body and he totally painted it up. Now, it's stunning, the color that it is. I totally agree. But when your wife says she wants something, the wife gets it. So she's picking out a special paint for it right now. And before we painted it, I wanted to come online and give a big thumbs up to this build, because there's lots of ideas on here that folks out in YouTube land that are RC addicts would love to have a look at. Now, the body is completely attached to the GCM chassis that's underneath. And I'm not going to take it off for you because it's a little bit of a ordeal to do that. But I do want to show you some things that I find really awesome. Okay, so there is a high-tech waterproof servo in there with a 24-tooth horn. There is the Vanquish aluminum transmission housing right in there. Transfer case. You can see the motor and the transmission are based up front. And it goes to the transfer case, which transfers the power to the front drive shaft. It's a steel drive shaft, and out to the back drive shaft. Now, the way he's attached this whole body is quite unique. Now, on these plastic bodies, they normally have, let me see if I can find it, there, these posts that stick down right in there. I know it's hard to see, guys. Sorry about that. What he did was he used rod ends, flipped them upside down, and actually used the posts for the body. And then he just attached them to the actual chassis. I'm going to flip it around. You guys can see it there. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you've seen New Bright bodies before, that's a really good angle of it, actually. The post is right there, and the rod end is pushing against it and has been screwed into place. Very cool. Also, check out these shocks with the back ARB diff cover. Awesome. I love the flex and the 4-link that was set up in this. And a very small skid plate. And the reason why I like having the transmission up front, apart from having the transmission and the weight up there, is that back here all you need is a very small skid plate to hold that transfer case. With a smaller skid plate, that means as you're crawling or going over the trail, you're definitely going to have less resistance to catch on a rock. Best part about this skid plate on the bottom, it's beveled. So even though it's Delrin and slides super easy, it doesn't have a sharp corner to get stuck on. With that bevel, it kind of helps it slide. So we have used this at the farm once. No, we didn't get it on camera because we just wanted Jem to kind of relax and have fun with it. But the epic detail on the inside is what I'm going to show you today. Hopefully this is where you guys can get some ideas for your own rigs and, you know, kind of work it in if you want, or not. You could just kind of marvel at what's been done here. But either way, this should help you guys looking for new ideas. Let's move the camera and get you up close. All right, one of the things people wonder is where the heck is the battery when you're using a New Bright like this. There's not a lot of room and we don't see a battery underneath, but you do see 2 battery wires. Now, they are clipped to the body, and that does go to the ESC, which is on the frame. That's part of the reason why I'm not taking the body off right now. This swings out, we'll get to this in a second, but this is the container where the battery is held. Right? It's a small screw kit that's been modified, cut out the inside divider so the wheel or the wires don't get pinched. It holds a 2-cell 2200 milliamp LiPo battery, so lots of power. or enough power, especially when it's geared properly. And there you go. It looks like you've got a kit bag or a kit box or a toolbox or whatever kind of box you want to call it. And it's basically weather resistant. You don't get a lot of snow and stuff in there. Water, that's a different story. You'd want to seal it up and make sure it's waterproof. Now this back swinging bumper, this is, I believe it's aluminum. It sure looks like aluminum from that locking point. Same with these back pieces here. Oh, this is actually plastic, my bad. This is aluminum tubing. And same with this bumper up front and the skid plate. All really strong, and my wife is fairly heavy on the throttle, so I'm glad instead of plastic that we've got the aluminum ones. So we'll just close this up here. Pretty neat. You can actually go ahead and put a spare tire in here, or just remove this case altogether and put the spare tire back there if you so choose. Mickey Thompson tires on here, my friends. You can have a look at them. Same with aluminum beadlocks. I'm not sure where they came from, but they sure are nice to look at. On the inside is where I'm most amazed with. Look at this beautiful work on this LED bar. All copper wrung out there, all anodized copper. On the inside, there's actual shifters. Now, they don't function. They're just there for looks. But it sure does look gnarly, especially beside this aluminum NOS can that's in there. A little bit of extra power for the Jeep when it's necessary. And something that's super, super neat. Now, here's the on-off in here. Ta-da! I gotta plug it in first. I love doing all these things with one hand. But if you're an RC person, you totally understand that you do most things with one hand. Let's turn this around. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. There, look at, you saw it already. I had it all turned on. So it does have lights. Here are the brake lights on the back. Pretty nice. Same here, I can turn them on and off. Let's have a look at this front setup here. Now I'm going to turn them on. 1, 2, 3. Check that out, hey? Pretty nice. Turn it off, on. On the inside, check it out. You got a lit up dashboard. That's not a reflection. Those are actually lights inside the dash. For a bit of scale realism, this always helps to get under there, wire something back there. I haven't done something like that yet. I have done the red or the red highlight lights before. I did that in my trail finder that was the top gear to kill a Toyota, in my little Yoda there. Pretty awesome. So the LED bar is, of course, usable. I moved this out of the way because it's a sharp point. And of course, with my son wanting to play with RCs all the time, I kind of bent the antenna out of the way. Loving the detail on this truck. Right here, this pinstriping is basically different size of small tape. It's like electrical tape, but it's pinstripe tape. Easy to buy. All you do is put it on in straight lines, and then you just cut around to make sure that you got the shape that you would like. So I'm loving this build. I think it's amazing. Everything about this truck was really well done and well thought out. So we're glad to have it in the studio with us. Pretty fortunate, actually. And Jem is pretty stoked. So next, I got to tear it down and I got to get it ready for painting so we can paint the body. When your wife says she wants something, the wife basically gets it. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in today. I hope you had a good experience checking this out. I hope it gives you some ideas. Check it out. It's even got little hood clips. Even though the hood doesn't open, it's got hood clips on it. Super, super, super neat. I love builds like this, and I hope it's given you guys some good ideas. We'll shine this up when we get the radio all hooked up to it, and we'll get this out on the trail. We'll do it like a family trailing video or something like that. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. See you in the next episode of RC Adventures. Get out and have some fun with RC.